Hi, this is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this video, you will learn the solution of questions from NCERT exercise from chapter Sources of Energy. These questions have been taken from NCERT textbook of class 10th science. Let us begin with question number 1. A solar water heater cannot be used to get hot water on option A is a sunny day, B a cloudy day, C a hot day, and D a windy day. And the answer is option B, a cloudy day, because the sunlight will not be available and then solar water heater is not going to work. Question 2. Which of the following is not an example of a biomass energy source? Option are A wood, B gobar gas, C nuclear energy, and D coal. And the answer is option C, nuclear energy. Most of the sources of energy we use represent stored solar energy. Which of the following is not ultimately derived from the sun's energy? And the options are A geothermal energy, B wind energy, C nuclear energy, and D biomass. Answer is C nuclear energy. Question 4. Compare and contrast fossil fuels and the sun as direct sources of energy. Fossil fuels, they are non-renewable, but solar energy is renewable. Fossil fuels are exhaustible, solar energy is non-exhaustible. Fossil fuels cause pollution, solar energy is non-polluting. Question 5. Compare and contrast biomass and hydroelectricity as sources of energy. In case of biomass, the cost of setup is low, but in case of hydroelectricity, there is a high cost of setup. Harnessing biomass energy does not cause displacement of people. A hydroelectric power plant, when it is set up, it results in large scale displacement of people. Biomass does not cause destruction of flora and fauna, but when a dam is made to make hydroelectric power plant, then there is a huge destruction of flora and fauna. Biomass can be set up by even an individual, but a hydel plant can be set up by government or big company, because it requires a huge amount of money. The power from biomass can be harnessed at any place, but hydel electricity plants, they can only be set up in hilly areas. What are the limitations of extracting energy from A wind, waves, and tides? For option A, the limitation is high cost of repair and maintenance. For options A, B, and C, limitations are high cost of setup, and these can be set up at selected places only. For example, wind energy, windmill can be set up at certain places where high speed wind is available for major part of the year. Wave energy or tidal energy can be harnessed only in coastal areas. For options B and C, the limitations are that the technology for harnessing energy from waves and tides, they are new technology, and so there is still a limited use of this technology. Question 7. On what basis would you classify energy sources as A renewable and non-renewable, and B exhaustible and inexhaustible? Second part of the question is, are the options given in A and B the same? And the answer is yes, they are more or less same. In case of option A, we categorize energy sources on the basis whether that can be renewed or not. And in case of option B, we categorize sources of energy on the basis whether the stock of the source is going to finish in foreseeable future or not. So they are more or less same. Question 8. What are the qualities of an ideal source of energy? The answer is that the qualities of an ideal source of energy are that it should produce a high amount of heat per unit of mass, it should be easily available, it should be easy to transport, it should be economical, and it should produce low amount of residue. Question 9. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using a solar cooker? Are there places where solar cookers would have limited utility? The advantages of solar cooker are that it is easy to set up, it is environment friendly, and it can be used even at remote places. And the disadvantages are that a solar cooker is very slow in working, so it can take hours even to make simple dishes. Solar cooker cannot work on cloudy days, and it cannot work at certain places like in cold climate or in mountains. So there are limited places where we can use solar cookers. Question 10. What are the environmental consequences of the increasing demand for energy, and what steps would you suggest to reduce energy consumption? The environmental consequences of increasing demand for energy are air pollution, because burning of fossil fuel releases very many polluting gases in the air; acid rain, because burning of fossil fuel releases oxides of carbon, nitrogen and sulfur. When these oxides they mix with rainwater, it results in acid rain, and acid rain is harmful for both animals and plants. Then it also causes smog. Smog is hazardous because it makes the life of drivers and pilots difficult. Then global warming, higher percentage of carbon dioxide in air results in global warming, which is the major cause of drastic changes in weather pattern around the globe. Then steps to reduce energy consumption are that we should use public transport more often than at the rate at which we are using, and we should minimize our use of private transport. Then we should use bicycle as often as possible, because bicycle is environment friendly, and we should use energy efficient appliances. So this will also help. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.